Hello, and welcome to the pre-rehearsal for my YouTube channel, Combat Choreography Critique. I'm going to be looking at, so I'm going to stop whipping my view around so that way I can actually show you the really neat map I'm on. But anyways, so Combat Choreography Critique, my YouTube channel, it's inching closer and closer to completion. And by completion, I mean starting. It's a very strange completion for something that hasn't even started yet. But anyways, so today I'm going to be taking a stab, pun intended, at talking and playing at the same time. It's not something I'm going to be doing a lot on the channel, but for gameplay stuff, depending on how much I'm editing, how much I'm doing stuff, like for VR, I might be doing some live streams and stuff in the future, and I would like to, because I have a feeling that the genre I'm doing can be very popular. It's just it's been stifled, and I figured how to get around it. Oh dear, I need to turn this down. But anyways, what was I gonna say? Oh my goodness, he's coming at me with a plank! If only I had a sharp object to stab him in the vitals with. Oh, hello. See, you got the memo. You got the memo about daggers. Unlike your friend there. But anyways, so today I'm gonna be talking about Blade and Sorcery. Incidentally, this is a modded map, this is a modded weapon. Those, however, are not modded. But anyways. So I'm going to be talking about this, I'm going to be talking a little bit about my channel in general, just as a real kind of test run. Hopefully I'm going to be going through some of the actual historical techniques. But anyways, so today is going to be dagger and grappling. And I'm going to basically, I'm going to do my best to dodge this lady until I deem it so to take her out. But anyways, so what is this? Well, according to the game / the modder, more specifically not the game maker, because as I said, it is modded content. Just, you know, make sure she knows I'm still hostile. Yes, she has not hit me yet. Nope. Yes, I was looking at this. But, so, what is this? It says it's a kidney dagger. However, this does look like a part of the body, I'll admit. Doesn't look like the kidneys, though. Yes, that is exactly what it is. It's a Balak dagger, or Bullock dagger. And if you know what Bullock means, then, well, you know, you'll have put two and two together. But in case you haven't, and you don't know what it means initially, Bullock means balls. Or one ball, specifically. Testicle, that is. To be a little bit more frank. Did you die from that? Honestly, like, can you believe that? I didn't even try to kill her, and she tripped on a body twice, no less. I didn't even point it out the first time. I was being nice. I hope you're a better assistant, you know, because you will be punished. In fact, whoa, the physics seem to have punished us. No, don't pick it up again. I wanted you to pick up a dagger. Seriously. Assistants are so hard to find. I mean, I think I have about 20 or so, 20 plus more before, let's see, I mean, closer. See, that's a messer. It's a gros messer, or they're long messer. Well, it's a gros. No, just a messer. Wow, you were bad. So yes, back, I've been distracted by killing and hopefully making humor. So hopefully so with this channel, I'm hoping to bury education in entertainment. Classic edutainment. This time, you know, a little bit more gory, a little bit more sweary. You know, this is not your average history class. That much is certain. But anyways, back to the cock and balls that is the handle of this dagger. Because there's no way around it. I mean, there is a way around it. Clearly, they've put a, you know, a little cock ring on. I mean, come on, the cock ring and everything. With a, I mean, sure, it's a bolster or a ferrule, you know, whichever you'd like. You know, sure, it serves structural integrity. Come on, but we know what this really is supposed to be. I mean, it's one of the oldest dick jokes in the world. It started appearing early to mid 14th century on effigies. And despite what some people will tell you, knights used these. They were actually first appearing on effigies to knights. Granted, self-defense by merchants, artisans, etc. Yes, of course. However, it's actually much more widespread than that. You know, a moment of Googling will actually tell you lies. I mean, not lies, big oversimplifications, and lies is accusatory. I don't wanna get into that. But jokingly, lies and slander. You know, but because people of all sorts in the medieval world use these. And right up until, I believe there's even accounts of people using daggers like this in World War II. And I've heard a story said, but I was not able to find it, of one after that. But I'm not going to go too much into it because that's only half remembered from something I couldn't corroborate myself, so I'm not going to pass that on to you. But it is entirely possible, as these have really and truly lasted the test of time right until the modern day. You can buy a very cheap but very good, well, for the price. There is always that clarification, of course. Like a relatively nice bollock dagger, actually. Granted, it is blunt. But anyways, so I mean, this survived up until really, most sources will tell you the 18th century. Like I said, I would say, arguably, it still is alive today, and I would like it to be brought back. And I mean, come on, this is some of the best parts of history. You know, fun stuff like this that really makes us remember that people, as much as we've changed, we really haven't. I mean, I still giggle at this. I look at my wall sometimes, and there's just like a cock and balls hanging out of a leather sheath, and it's funny. And it hasn't stopped being funny, and I've had it for well over a year now. I will report in future if I ever stop laughing at it. But there we are. Why didn't you... Okay, so I'll talk a little bit about the AI in a minute as well, but I haven't even gotten to grappling yet. And I don't want to make this video too long, and I've already done a bunch of attempts that I didn't like, and then attempts that I accidentally deleted. It's been a whole thing. I mean, it wouldn't be YouTube without tech issues or user error. I mean, that was an interesting choice that you made. I'm not going to say the wrong one, because you have a longer weapon, so any attack you make, you know, as long as it's not like a spinning attack, or one of those jumping spinning attacks, God forbid, I would have thrown you right off. I would have punched the window, but I would have thrown you right off, Mr. AI friend. I'm glad also that someone's actually going to be listening to this. I mean, it still feels like I'm talking to myself, but it feels better that I know that someone's going to be listening to this recording, hopefully. As long as I don't fucking delete it again, like a fool. But anyways, so back to history and stuff. You know, now that you've all recovered from the education that you've been taken. Education in small doses. But anyways, I wasn't even close to you, dude. So okay, I'm gonna talk about the AI because it's like I wasn't even close. I didn't even have to move. In fact, he cut himself on my dagger that I was holding at my side. And I find that getting really up close and personal, actually in a couple games that I'll actually illustrate to you guys, in a couple games, they never expected somebody to want to fight in a phone booth or fight in a latrine hut. I don't know. I wasn't sure what the medieval equivalent, like a fishing hut. A very close space. I don't know why my character jumped there, but he did. Sir, you forgot your weapon. No, I wanted you to have that one. That one's a lot safer for me. Oh, but you fool! You screwed up. So yeah, I mean, beginner players do need that intro, and when you're fighting 10 people, I'll have to fix that controller drift at some point. But anyways, it's not getting in the way of combat. Whee! Oh, come on. Oh, I'm trapped in a hole. In a hole. There we go. Oh, excuse me. Anyways, where was I? AI, that's right. I mean, the intro of this video really speaks to the AI. You have to die. You know what? I'm going to kill you. You're going to kill yourself, apparently. I mean, jeez. Okay, just... you're a menace to society, to yourself. Just come here. Just come hither. Okay, I've got the... Grabbing them can be a little wonky sometimes. Okay, no. Come hither. There we go. And hip toss. I can't express how enjoyable it is to be in a video game and just be like, cool, I can now just hip toss you to the floor and slit your throat and just make this whole combat encounter so much easier. Because I've always said that if I were allowed to do historical moves in these things, it would just be so much easier. And now I get to put my money where my mouth is. There we are. Anyways, I'm just gonna let you taint the water supply. No, I definitely don't want that. I'm doing a video about daggers and grappling. Anyways. Whoa. So, yes, so the usage, now the usage of these, they span so many different time periods. In the medieval period, when they actually first started appearing, is, what people consider, the original bespoke era. Everything was made individual. Well, not everything, but most things were made individual, for the individual's tastes. And as such, blade lengths, the size of the hilt, everything like that changed. And especially across different time periods. What it turned into, which is the dungeon dagger, which I'm sure you're familiar with that word, and I'll do a future video, probably on the real channel, about that. But I won't be, talking about that right now. But you may have been familiar with this weapon as the dirk. And I mean, this, the earliest depictions we have of this is in England. I didn't mention that, but early 14th century, I did mention that. but it spread and it really survived in Scotland as well. And this became the dirk. And this would be, in my opinion, perfectly acceptable to call a dirk. You may find something very similar to this in the 14th century as you would in the 18th century or even 19th century. You would find, I mean, the main difference would be the steel quality, how it was produced. For example, the modern one that I have, like I said, mine's blunt on the edges. Still has a wicked point that I would not, I would be confident against mail. I mean, as confident as anyone would be, you know, in such a situation. I would certainly be more confident than some of my other daggers that I own, at the very least. No, you die. You have to die a horrible death because you've done spinning shit. Dem's the rules. You can do it in a fist fight. Ow! Ow! So sometimes you can stab their own legs, sometimes you can't. If I grab here, oh, there we go. I apparently still can't. Interesting, so it depends on the weapon. But apparently, I can still throw her to the ground. Barring all the backflips, and somehow she stabbed herself. Yeah, because someone else has spawned. But forcing their weapon underneath their leg and lifting them like that is a historical technique. You know, at the end of the whoop, there was something behind me and I couldn't move. Anyways, it is like a steel bar at the end of the day. Oh, I've died somehow. I'll have to watch the tape back on that. That mind-boggling. Anyways, yeah. So sometimes the physics can be a little bit wonky. How long have I been going? Oh, okay. Yeah, so I will do another... I'll do a round to completion, and then I'll call that this video, or I might chop it into 2 videos to make it more palatable, depending on the critique I get from everyone. I keep forgetting that this is the first video, because I've, you know, technical difficulties to the other ones. Yeah, from that angle, I suppose you would die from a perforated lung. The angle? Oh, actually, I might even hit your heart with that one. I keep forgetting that this one's so long. Yes, I am a child. Anyways, my one's a bit shorter, but a bit wider. Actually, no, it's about the same. It just tapers off. Well, mine's about as fine as the point. In this game, the physics are a little wonky. You're better just to maneuver away. In real life, your best bet would actually be to, like, from here, he would just be stabbing at me relentlessly. It would be incredibly difficult for me to get by. Thankfully, he's doing a bunch of attacks. Okay, that one was in range, but I only had to do a slight bend of the knees and moving backward to get at that one. I mean, you're just too bad at combat to live. That is a nice sword. The ROM has one similar to that, except much larger. Well, I mean, I say similar, and it's a flamberge. But anyway, I'll talk about flamberges later, and I'll talk about why I like this one in particular, and why I quite like the work that the modder did for this. Whoa, I don't remember if I've mentioned it in this video, but This is modded. The map is modded. Do I have an example of the only thing that shows up that isn't modded? Very little of this currently is not modded. Whoops. There we go. So I can't figure out if you can headbutt people or not. Sometimes it seems like you can, sometimes it seems like you can't. It's very indecisive. But anyways, yeah, it's a decently sized map. It's not the biggest one that they have. That one is an incredible one that I can't wait for Stealth to come out for, because it will be amazing. It's a real anyways, sorry, for some reason the edge of this just wasn't working. Apparently, it was acting as blunt as my real one. So what I did there, and is a historical technique, I don't believe, I was about to say it was Fury Delivery, but I don't believe it was. Incidentally, this was one of like the 5 main types of dagger in the medieval, or what we term as the medieval era. It was ear daggers, bollock daggers, quillon daggers, rondel daggers, ear, quillon, rondel, basilard. Basilard was the other one, which is like an eye shape. If you've seen like a 13th century archer, you've probably seen that eye-shaped dagger with them. It's very commonly depicted with archers, even though many people, both on the battlefield and off the battlefield. Incidentally, this is both a battlefield and self-defense weapon. In fact, actually, some of these were actually just tool knives as well. Incidentally, I might talk about the difference or really lack thereof between daggers and knives, because I mean sometimes the difference is razor thin. Really low effort pun, not intended, but it's kind of right there, so sure. Really? Okay, well, I mean, that one would have gotten me had I not done that ducky thing. Which, the duck as I did it would not have worked in real life. I would have needed to have made adjustments as the other person made adjustments, but in this, they just swing and then don't react. They handle every weapon the same. And especially when you have such a, this is early access, so everything I say does come with and also some of these are modded, so it does come with that massive asterisk of, something that you also have to take into account for criticism. You know, all of this might be moot when, it gets changed, or, whatever. Somebody spawned behind me, so I'm gonna run this way. Whee! I say run, I immediately jump. For some reason the game thinks I'm that's weird, the game thinks I'm sprinting there. It's very interesting. Anyways, enemy of mine, let's go this way. Ooh, yes, let's go this way indeed. Goodbye! So, this map, I do not like falling off of. Whoa! Hello! My goodness, you startled me, sir. Anyways, sorry about this. Anyways, yeah, it's no fun. I mean, it kind of is, but it isn't at the same time. My body really doesn't know. It's like I'm falling from a height. I'm not falling from a height, but I am, but I'm not. But it's very interesting. It's yeah, it's a very bizarre feeling. I mean, like, really. So spinning stuff in a like this kind of fight, awful idea. Like, you know, you can see it in MMA. You can pull it off with timing. You know, even in combat, you could pull off a spinning thing with this. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying, my goodness, that is a massive. I mean, like, come on, man. Like, you know, the moment he turns, I mean, really, I could just go up to him and go, but, you know, just bending my knees backwards is all I need to do. And then I'm in prime position to just move right in. If I wanted to mistreat the whoa. Wow, they are hauling ass. I like this about this game, is that if AI are far away from you, they will sprint at you. I really do enjoy that as well. Whoa! Oh man, all that effort just for that. I didn't mean him to run a fucking 100-meter dash. So, I'll address grabbing of the blade. Ow! Oh man, this were real life, my fingers would have been crushed. Oh, that would have been awful. Just awful. There we go. So the thing about the metal shield, so these scrape off of it, and you can, if you know what you're doing, you can push the shield over, so it'll just slide right into their vital point. Well, I mean, you saw what happened. In theory, right into their vital points. In practice, right beside their vital points, like 3-4 times. But yeah. Anyways, so let's run off of that dagger stuff. I mean, I can still talk about the dagger itself, but it's very vaguely educational. So anyways, talking about usage and stuff. So I don't know if I covered in this video, but against a sword like this, the best chance would be to do that. My goodness, that is the best that things have gone. So I'm just gonna go ahead and hip toss you off. I have so much fun just being able to wrestle the AI, because the AI have no clue how to handle it. And I've always said that historical techniques and the real life techniques would be so useful in these contexts. And now I get to put my money where my mouth is, where I can just be like, yeah, coming in. Whoops. Must not have grabbed in the right spot. That's fine. You still have a shield, and I don't really want you to have that shield, so sayonara. Which is a judo throw, for those who were unaware. And so anyways, so now I'm going to hip toss you over. What do you mean already used? I don't know where I got this extra one from, but you keep it, actually. So, I've got a theory, right? and this is just conjecture. But I mean, right? Like, come on, you can't tell me that the Scottish clan, one Scottish clan, didn't at least think of jamming that in someone's, you know, genitals and laughing for a bit. Like, come on, like that, you know, I haven't seen any historian talk about it as like a battlefield humiliation thing. But anyways, yes. So grab your base. So anyways, where was I? Oh yes. So yeah, you can like, I'll go into it. But yeah, you can grab people's weapons and force them down. It's great. It's, let's see what. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna now hold. So now, oh, I wanted to quickly do that to switch grip. So now I can just sit here and Kimura grip him if I so pleased. And so this is actually a historical, like a very historical thing, far before Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or anything like that. You know, the key lock, or Americana. I can never remember under pressure which ones are which. Oh, you know, I can, you know, I know the functional differences once you explain, once you're like, yes, one of them's this, and it's like, ah, yes, okay, I know the other one. But anyways, it's bending the arm back like that. In real life, it can dislocate your shoulder, it can fuck up a whole bunch of different shit. In the game, they don't care. I mean, they'll be held there, and they can really do nothing about it, but grunt and wiggle. But thankfully that hit like mostly armor, and it was kind of at the end of your cycle there. But anyways, so the reason why I keep doing a hip toss and that Seonage is really that's all that's available in the game so far. There is one other thing and I'll show it off in a minute. But I'm very, very saddened by this. The suplex is very difficult to do. I think you can do it on living people. I think, but but usually you have to wait for them to be dead about it first. Anyways, come on. Oh, okay. Oh, there's a post there. That's why I'm not moving around. I love that you picked up my other kidney dagger. Ooh. Jeez, how many people are there? Or am I just taking my sweet ass time with it? So anyways, so you can also go for single legs. Or actually, I mean, I guess you can go for double leg takedowns. Very fucking difficult. Ooh, that smarted. Yeah, I think I might even do I mean, this is a very, like, rudimentary, it's not supposed to be a very in-depth thing, but, I mean, especially for the grappling, it's not very in-depth. Ooh, jeez. You know, I was talking all that shit about the spinning stuff earlier, but... Alrighty, well, I do believe that will wrap this one up. So yeah, thanks for coming out to the initial, very plain, video. Is it? Yeah, it was still recording. Okay. Keep wondering why I can't let go of the shield. It's because my body is dead. But yeah. I wasn't wearing proper armor. That's why. But anyways, I hope you've found this entertaining and at least somewhat educational. Future videos will go into more depth about stuff. Blah blah.